welcome back. Well, this week's video is another combined chapter ride. One of our road captains organised a run from BP South Service Centre in Papakura, travelling down to Kopu, where we're going to meet up with riders from the Waikato HOG and East Coast HOG chapters, and together we'll then ride over the hills and up to the Coroglen Tavern. So this video is picking up from the Kopu Station Hotel where we met up with the other riders. Now we rode down with I think 24 or 26 riders from Papakura on State Highway 1, travel down via Miranda and then just down through the main road through to Kopu, and we met up then with about another 19 or 20 riders here, and from there we left, carried on. So in total we had between 45 and 50 bikes, many of those bikes carrying pillions, so quite a number of people. Now as we're travelling along, we were very fortunate this day to have some amazing weather. It was just beautiful and the traffic was really quite light, and what traffic we did see was very obliging when faced with a large group of bikes. Just pulled over, there was lots of smiles, lots of waving, cameras, so yeah, it was a fun day out. Now the first stretch of road decent stretch of road that we all tackle together is State Highway 25A, which is the Kopu Hikuai Road. And we travel on that. It takes us up through the hills. There's some beautiful bush riding here, lots of twisty, windy parts. No wetness on the roads, everything was just fine. Soon after that, once we get through, we turn onto, or the road becomes State Highway 25, the Pacific Coast Highway. And that's taking us through into Tairua, where we stopped for a break, a bit of a regroup. And this was the first time where some of the issues of travelling with 50 odd bikes becomes apparent, because the initial place selected to park up and just gather our thoughts was probably not of a size big enough for all 50 of us. And despite initially pulling over, Road Captain made a better call and observed the park across the road from us here, and many of the bikes went over. Now I in the end chose not to because I couldn't make up my mind, and in the end, indecision's a terrible thing to have when you're riding a bike. That no, the hell with it, I'm just going to park right here, it's all good. We're going to travel down this road anyway, so no real harm done. I offloaded my wife at this point because I thought this is where we were stopping, and she managed to get the camera out and filmed a little bit of the parking manoeuvres that were going on, which was kind of interesting. It's a vertical alignment, but I think that's okay, you get the drift. We walked over to the park afterwards, stretched our legs and had a catch up with a few people over there, and then soon afterwards we stopped only for 10 maybe 15 minutes max, and soon afterwards we're back on the road again. It was just long enough for the road captain to call ahead to the Coroglen Tavern and let them know, hey listen, we've got a few more bikes than what we thought were going to come. We had arranged to, might be 20-30 people coming. Said it's going to be more like 60-70 people arriving. Can you handle us? And they said, yep, we'll do our best. So I said, well, that's all you can do, and off we went. So the next stage of the ride, it's once again the Pacific Coast Highway, State Highway 25. Again, some really nice riding roads, and particularly this time of year, the roads are dry, the sun was out, kind of perfect springtime weather. This was the first day of New Zealand Daylight Savings Time, so we're all up 1 hour earlier than usual. and to get up for a ride like this, a day like this, was worth every single moment. There's a lot more great riding to be seen along this particular route, even the short distance from Tairua through to Coroglen, but just for the interest of time I haven't really included all of it in there. Now, the last time I came through on this road, I think it was the last time, was probably during the Kickdown Festival at the early this year, January, when we rode again the same route. There was the Coromandel Loop ride in a counterclockwise direction, which is what we're doing now, and it really is my preferred way round. I think you get a much better view of everything. It's a much more satisfying ride, in my opinion. Either way works real well, but this way works for me the best. Now here we are coming up into, or approaching, close to Coroglen itself and the Coroglen Tavern. It's just across a little one-lane bridge, and I guess majority rules here. We had all the bikes, so we ended up just heading on across and finding parking outside the tavern itself. Now the tavern, it's a pretty popular place, especially in the summertime, where they have a lot of live music playing. Some really good bands play here. They've got a great garden bar, they've got a great everything, so lots of parking as well. Even so, this is about midday on a particular day, and from having not many vehicles in front at all to all of a sudden 50 odd bikes trying to find a park, it did get a little challenging initially, but we all managed to get the bikes stopped. Everybody got on board into the premises, got some drinks and ordered some hot food. End of a fantastic day. Straight ahead here is the Coroglen Tavern, and we're going to skip past a few people and just head on up to park on the extreme right hand edge of the premises before heading in and getting some lunch. Ahead of us we'll see Deano, the road captain, organised again a fantastic ride for us all. So that's all for this week's video. Take care out there, ride safe, have fun. See you next week.